And that's like when Rab fully goes into the Kiki mode. Like that's full on Kiki. Kiki don't like Times Square. Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and well, that's pretty much it. So let's go. Late. That's right.
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we break down a different record from a different artist, and we find out all the information about it, all the secrets, all the things that everybody wishes they knew, and we find it out and we let everyone know. What am I going on about? I don't know. My name is Tyler. Way out there, hundreds of miles away. Way out there. I think there is Jeff. Go to Apple Podcasts. Go rate and review us there. Give us 5 stars. Give us a positive rating, review. Go do that. Go follow us on social media at Asinine Radio. And thank you all for listening still to this point. We're getting into a fucking crazy and wild episode, or album, I should say, and it'll be interesting to say the least. To say the least. So, what are we doing today, Jeff? Go.
We are doing Gnarkill's Gnarkill.
Who's that? Now get out of here. You fool, get the fuck out. You ready? You goddamn better believe it. Then take your drawers off and work your legs. Open your ass up like a keg. Let me tap it. I must have it. Very fool, you are mine. I'll drink your ass like wine, and when semen pours all over your head, you know you must be dead. Skeletor, I know you groove and shake it so damn good. And when you come on through my hood, I'll give you a piece of what. You furry fool, I know, and I will not disagree. But there's one thing we don't like, and it starts with he. Man, oh no, I don't know which way to run or turn. Don't worry, Skeletor, your pants on fire. My cock will burn. My cock's on fire. For more dick. You know, Skeletor, yes, my head is so damn thick like yours. No brain inside, just a lot of fucking fur. And if I ripped it off, you'd find a boy and call him her, right? No, Skeletor, that's not what I'd do. I'd bend you over and shoot chocolate goo in your asshole. Let me lie. Let me tell the truth. Now, who are you? I don't know. Let's break it true. Yeah, shake your ass. Come on, beast man. Take your furry fur off. Why can't it be the fur? Bitch, well then, whack me off. Grab your hairy palms. Hairy indeed. They're hairy as fuck. Rake some leaves. Whatever you need. Now we're drunk. We'll be in jail. But I'll rape you, master. He never fails. He's always got my ass on his mind. And it's short back. And when he waxes me, he waxes all night long. And that is that. Now, Beastman, what do you know about taking off your clothes? You're just a slut from down below in Castle Grayskull. Come on.
Gnarkill formed in Westchester, Pennsylvania in 2002 by Brandon Dicamillo on vocals, Bam Margera on keyboards, Jess Margera on drums, and Rich Vos on guitar and bass. The band put out 2 full-length records and an unreleased album before breaking up in 2006. Gnarkill is also the group's first album. It came out in 2003 and features the original and only lineup of the group. Now, Jeff, what is fucking song, dude? What is your what's your origin story and first impressions on this record? What do you got?
First of all, when we hay in, I think sometimes your hays are so crisp that Discord won't pick it up. It's like, hey,
okay,
like that. They're really, really crisp. They don't pick it up. That's why I was late. I didn't.
Okay.
Because I can't hear the music, so I got to wait for your hay to come in. You're too crisp. Your hays are too crisp. They're paper thin. Like you're on it so fast. I know.
I'm too perfect. I can't help it.
Those are perfect hays. Those are pHs. So you're right.
pH.
There's some like pulp in my throat. Hold on. Okay. So, dude, I'm like I put too much lime today. I'm like salivating here.
That's disgusting.
I don't know how I got into Gnarkill. I just remember at some point we were in love with Gnarkill, but I don't know how it started. I don't know how it happened. I mean, growing up, like we liked CKY, and then it moved into Jackass, and like this was just kind of like our life at one point. But I would assume that CKY came first, and then that's how we got into Gnarkill, because I definitely that had to have been it, because like watching CKY first and then listening to Gnarkill, but I don't know how Gnarkill got brought up. I just remember now, like throughout high school, like this was our jam. Like this was fun. It still is fun.
It was great.
But I don't remember how it started. Like it just did.
Well, I do remember how it started with me. And so I was always a fan of Jackass, always a fan of CKY, the band and the obviously the videos. And so I love that stuff. And I remember on the CKY videos seeing like Deco doing his thing, you know, the rapping and all, and whatever it was. I always remember that. But then I met friend of the pod, Annie. I met her junior year of high school. So she was a senior, I was a junior, and we met and we became friends, like quick friends. And she loved the CKY stuff, everything about CKY, the videos. She loved the band, and then she turned me on to Gnarkill. I'd never heard Gnarkill before, and she had bought their CD, and she showed me Skeletor versus Beastman, and it was the funniest thing ever. And her and I, we would listen to that record all the time with a couple of our other friends. We listened to it all the time. And then I remember I bought the CD. I think I bought it at Hot Topic. I might have bought it. I think it was at Hot Topic. I bought it back in junior year. And yeah, it was just ever since then. This record has just been, it's always been played, especially Skeletor vs. Beastman, because you cannot fuck with that song. It's so stupid. So that's my origin story with it, and I always go back to this record because it's so stupid and funny. Kind of, I mean, it is offensive at points for sure, but you know, in 2003, 2004, times were very different. This
album is incredibly, like that term people use. This is of its time, tenfold.
Yeah,
this is what it was like being in high school in like the mid 2000s.
Early mid 2000s, absolutely. This was
like right or wrong, you know, problematic as it was. This is the lifestyle that we lived. Like this is what we went through. This is kind of how we talked and what we did and the jokes we made. And I mean, not all of it is problematic and not politically correct anymore. A lot of it is still funny. I mean, most if not all of it is still funny. But there's like even like now today, this week, there's an even more appreciation for Deco and just how amazing that guy is. It is
how
a true entertainer, like a fucking true entertainer.
I know.
It's like, what a waste, man. Like, fuck everybody. Like, if everybody else in Jackass lore, I hate saying Jackass lore, but that encompasses kind of everybody because everybody knows the Jackass lore. If everybody else in Jackass lore just fucked off, like Deco would be the best. He'd be the best.
To me, Deco, Knoxville, and Chris Pontius were the best parts of Jackass, through and through. They were my favorites. Deco had like the wit. He had the quickness and just the improv skills, and then Knoxville just was straight up like stupid stunts. And then Chris Pontius was like the subtle, sarcastic, very very dry person on the cast. But they were just like. Deco and Pontius are always like the underrated ones, even though Deco was barely on Jackass.
He hated it. He hated making money for MTV, and that really pissed him off. And that I didn't like. I always like knew, and you see, and you want more Deco, but you kind of forget because Jackass was a really good show and really funny. But I mean, we'll probably get into it at some point. But this week has been very eye opening for me because. Like growing up and then skating and then going into like the BMX aspect and hanging out with the Hubbard twins and biking and stuff, like the CKY crew was what you aspired to be as a kid. But now looking back on it, it's sad, man. It is so fucking sad. And watching CKY 4, because I watched CKY 4 yesterday or the day before, and there's a part where Bam and his dad are just kind of like wrestling. And you can see Bam like smile and laughing. And it's like heartbreaking, dude. It's so fucking sad to see like the way Bam was and how excited he was to be a kid and like how much fun he was having with his dad, and seeing Bam now, that like downfall. And you know, it's not, it is his fault, I guess. And like he needs to be responsible for his own actions. But like, it just goes to show you like how much life big corporations can suck out of you and all the money they can bleed from you. And everybody but like Knoxville like is left penniless and broken and beaten. It's but so sad, dude. This was
Knoxville
so sad.
Also, like, he did a lot of movies and stuff. I mean, some of them were not very good, but he did a lot of acting outside of Jackass.
Well, he was also
like the face of Jackass.
He was also very, very buddy with Tremaine and the studio that eventually produced a lot of the other movies he was starred in. So he kind of like, if you can't beat him, join him type of thing. He joined him.
Yeah, that's true.
He became a suit. Whereas everyone else they're all kids, man. Like Rab himself, I was reading about Rab, like these articles and these interviews that he was giving, and he was fucked, man. And I tried to read all these before I watched the movies because I knew like the Jackass curse, like I knew that existed, and I wanted to see what the stars had to say, and then watch the movies for the first time with all of that in mind. And Rab had like the worst alcohol problem out of all of them.
No, he was terrible, yeah.
And like watching CKYs again this week, there are so many times that I used to laugh, and I still kind of laughed, but I felt really bad laughing. And it's so sad to see these like early 20s kids struggle so hard with alcoholism and drug problems. And then Rab brought up a point too, like you're on set for Jackass and you do a stunt, you get hurt, and you're already drinking more than like your normal person. And you get hurt and it hurts. And so somebody, like, who knows, it doesn't matter. Somebody hands you painkillers and you take like one and it helps the pain. And then you're still drinking your normal amount of alcohol because that's your lifestyle at this point.
Yeah.
And then you get hurt again. You're like, oh fuck, I need two pills today. And that's how it starts. And all of a sudden now you're taking, dozens of pills a day, drowning it with, fucking 15, 20, 30 beers a day. And it's just like it spirals out of control, and everybody around you is also doing it. And it's just it's so fucking terrible. And all the while, like the execs at MTV are just counting their millions that they're making from Jackass. And that's why Deco left. That's why fucking Deco left, because he didn't want no part of this stuff.
Yeah. I used to listen to Rab, because Rab had a podcast for maybe like a year and a half, not too long ago. And I listened to like the episodes where he had a guest on, because it wasn't a very good podcast. But when he had guests on, like the CKY guys or Jackass guys on, it was really good because they told a bunch of stories and like behind the scenes stuff. And he was saying like, because Viva La Bam came after Jackass, obviously. I think Viva La Bam came after the second Jackass movie, if I'm not mistaken. And Deco was on that. Deco, Rake, Rab, Dunn, and Bam were on that with, April and Phil and Vito and stuff like that. So it was that whole crew. And Rab was saying, like, in 2008, I think it was when that show ended, he was saying at like the last episode of that, when they were shooting it, he said everybody at that point like hated each other because they were so burnt out, and the production was just they just didn't give a shit about the cast, and they just kept going and going and going without stopping. And he said it was just everybody was so burnt out, and he said for a long time people didn't even talk to each other because they just didn't like being around each other anymore.
Yeah,
because they were pushed so much. And then reading more like the guy Joe France who filmed a lot of stuff with Bam with the CKY videos, he was saying after like 2009, not everybody, but he said that he and Bam lost contact with Deco. Like Deco stopped talking to them all together. But then you hear like recently, like Rake and Rab, they still talk to Deco all the time. Like they're still like close with him, but Deco he pretty much cut out Bam altogether. But it seems like he cut out Dunn as well.
I mean, man, like it's so fucking their entire, like, these are kids and no different than like Corey Feldman. Like these are kids that we've watched grow up, and they missed such a part of their childhood to learn how to, like, be adults. They went from being stupid kids to just being stupid adults, and there was no like middle ground. And so you watch these like CKY1 is very raw. It is. I mean, it's cute though.
But
it's endearing.
It's so fun. Like
it's friends having
this,
fun,
like,
and it's
great. It's small
great
town
cutting.
innocence.
It's great cutting. They did a great job doing it, but it's just a bunch of kids that really had no parental supervision and had no like role models to kind of guide them. And then all of a sudden, Tremaine and the Jackass crew hooked up, and it was just like, hey, we're going to throw a bunch of money at you. Now go kill yourselves. And like literally that's what happened.
Yeah. It does give some validity to Bam's recent meltdowns. But even then, like Bam is just, dude, it's so sad what's going on with him right now.
But like nobody's helping him. And it's like,
everything I've been reading,
died.
But things I've been reading, like I know like Steve-O especially has really tried to help him out, because Steve-O went through all this shit too, but he became totally sober. Like I think it was like 9 years ago now. Like he was able to kick it all and just like completely start over and make a new life for himself. So I'm pretty sure Steve-O has been like in the forefront of trying to help Bam, but I think Bam is one of like, just watching the CKY videos again, even though I've seen them so many times before, watching them now, like seeing how Bam is in the media now, I feel like Bam has always been the guy that everybody says yes to. Like everybody like bows down to Bam, especially like in Pennsylvania where he's from. Everybody he surrounds himself with are all yes men. And I feel like that has just destroyed his psyche. Like nobody's telling him that he needs to fucking stop. And when they do, he like freaks out. He's just not used to people saying no to him.
Bam is like legit the worst part of all of this, but he's also the most tragic, because his relationship, even with Phil and April, is terrible. Like they never.
It's weird.
I mean, obviously we don't know everything because we only see what they film and what goes on, but
true, yeah.
It's just like no one ever taught him what it's like to be a person, so he doesn't know what it's like to be a person. And one of his most recent meltdowns in like 2019, where like it's very rare where somebody who has hit rock bottom reaches out for help. Like people don't reach out for help as much as they should. Bam reached out for help. Like he pleaded with Dr. Phil for whatever that's worth. He pleaded with Dr. Phil to come and help him. Like Bam knows he's hit rock bottom. He doesn't know how to deal with it himself. He's never grown up. Bam is like 15 years old still. And him and Steve-O had like a really cool relationship. Like they bonded more than most of the other Jackass CKY crew did. And it's just like, I feel so bad for Bam just because he's going to die alone. He's going to fucking die alone.
Yeah, totally.
And everyone's going to be sad because, dude, then watching like this, that interview that Bam gave, I don't even know why I watched it because I knew I was going to feel so sad, but I watched it anyway. The interview Bam gave after Dunn died and the first time Bam went back to the site.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't even know why I watched it again, because the first time I watched it, it was terrible. And then watching Bam cry again is just, dude, it's fucking insane. It is gnarly. It is crazy.
Yeah,
and,
it was so sad.
But you know, Gnarkill's a good band.
They are, yeah. I mean, I guess bringing it back to Gnarkill. I mean, we're gonna touch upon so much of the CKY videos as well as Jackass, because I mean they go hand in hand, and also there's 8-9 songs on this record, and they're all improvised, they're all jokes, but they're so good, and it just shows Deco, bringing it back to Deco, like just showing how, dude, the guy is he's next level funny. Like there's nobody like Deco in modern entertainment or in entertainment in general. He's so unique and so weird, but so forgotten and underrated. It's insane.
There was like a video he did too. It was like an interview, but it was probably shot by like Jets or somebody, and it was like 10 minutes long. And they're asking Deco, like, this is after Gnarkill, just like why he's gone, what he thinks about the Jackass thing, what he thinks about getting rich and stuff. And one of the first questions they asked him, because Deco never flew anywhere. Like he never, I mean, he did sometimes, but he never like.
Well, he was afraid of flying. He was like, it was well known. He was terrified of flying.
That's not quite like exactly what it was. He just didn't like flying on MTV's dime. He didn't like flying somewhere to make MTV money. He didn't like at that point. Like, yeah, he didn't like flying, but at that point, when they were flying them over to like Barcelona or fucking Toronto,
like on Viva La Bam and stuff.
Like even MTV, like they were flying them all over the States and then do it like wherever you want to go. They're throwing endless amounts of money at them because no matter what, MTV knew that these kids are going to blow it anyway. And for every $100 these kids make, we're going to make 10,000. And Deco acknowledged that early on. And so that's why he stopped flying. He didn't want to fly whenever MTV told him to fly because he said, I'm not going to make money for MTV. I'm not going to make money for corporate America. Just not going to do it. And then throughout the series, he had less and less of a role. So he was almost like non-existent.
Yeah, it's true. It's crazy too because looking back on Viva La Bam, because I watched that show a lot too.
That show's awful.
I watched it a lot. I watched it so much.
That's the worst out of the big three of the CKY, Jackass, and Viva
well, yeah,
La
no,
Bam.
it is the worst. It is the worst. But I watched it because Deco was on it a lot.
That's true.
He was on a lot, and then Don Vito. I mean, yeah, he ended up that whole shit show was a mess. But Don Vito on the show was very funny, and those were the reasons why I watched the show was because of those two guys. But then looking back on it too, they would Bam would go all over the place. Like he would go all over the U.S., but he would also go to like Europe. And I always remember Deco never traveled with him. Deco was only ever on the Pennsylvania or maybe like New York episodes. Like he never went to Vegas when Rab got married. When Rab got married to the mail order bride, and then like when they went to Europe and went to Transylvania, Deco wasn't there. It was just Rab, Dunn, and Bam on that. Like he never ever traveled with them. It's crazy. Like even on that show where, Deco had a lot more control on that show than he did on Jackass, but even then, he wouldn't go anywhere.
Dude, it's just
like very much on his terms.
Mass respect for Deco, and I knew he didn't like the light. That's why he eventually left, focused on himself, his family. But I never knew how much he hated it. And then you think like, well, why did he stick around? Like, why did he do it for so long? It's like, 'cause his fucking friends are doing it. Like those are his best friends. And maybe he stuck around long enough to try to like impart some of that self-reliance onto Bam. Like maybe he stuck around to help Bam, and just at some point he realized he was beyond helping, and that's why he left like permanently. Because him and Bam's completely cut off at some point. Even Dunn cut off at some point when he hurt his shoulder and almost fucking like died from that blood clot or some shit. He cut off.
I don't remember that.
I think it was after Jackass. It was before Jackass 3D, so it had been after Jackass 2. Yeah, Dunn hurt his shoulder, and it didn't look like it was like that bad, but like there was like a pinch that was close to like an artery or something that went to his brain or something.
Oh shit!
And like a blood clot could have killed him, and so he got like real depressed, and he turned to like drugs and kind of like shut himself off from everybody for a couple of years. Like nobody talked to him for several years.
Shit. I did not know that.
Yeah, like this is like their entire world is like these guys just don't know how to like be normal people.
I guess it comes down to also, they were such a tightly knit group from a very, very small town in Pennsylvania where they were never like they were never exposed to anything big or just on that level of MTV or anything like that. So I feel like being thrown into literally the complete opposite world of everything that you know and grew up with, and then automatically having all this money and then blowing it all, like that's just a huge culture, almost like a culture shock. That's what like
wild. That's what separates them from Knoxville, because Knoxville from the beginning,
he was an actor at the time.
Yeah, from the beginning he wanted to be a movie star. He wanted to be an actor. These guys didn't even think about that. Knoxville pitched a lot of things, and his whole initial concept was essentially just taking a beating on for various things, and
which is funny. It's
still funny, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But like Knoxville wanted to be that from the beginning. Nobody else really wanted to be that from the beginning, and I think like Tremaine, like I'm kind of indifferent about Jeff Tremaine, but I think he's kind of a snake. I think he took advantage of a lot of these guys too. And I think he was
so, yeah.
I think he was a middleman between MTV and everybody else. And I think as long as the money kept coming in, because I'm sure at any point, like Steve O's has said, we should do LSD. Tremaine was on it. Tremaine like had countless people who would readily bring over drugs, however much they wanted at any point, without even like questioning whether or not it was morally good. And I think Tremaine is kind of like an unsung villain in all of this.
Yeah, maybe. But then, reading and seeing a lot of things about it, like they fucked with Tremaine a lot too. So Tremaine wasn't always like, he was never really safe from the rest of the people, like prank wise. You know what I mean? Like he was, I remember Dave England was on Steve O's podcast a few months ago, and I was listening to that, and they were talking about how Dave got so mad at Tremaine because he did some really stupid prank, and he ended up like shitting all over his doorknob and like all over his room or some weird shit, like his hotel room when he had just met his wife, and like they would fuck with each other a lot. Like all the cast members would fuck with Tremaine all the time.
Yeah, but that's prank stuff.
For what it's worth. For what it's worth.
And also, to be fair, like Dave England and Danger Aaron, they wouldn't even be there if it had not been for Tremaine. They had no affiliation with Jackass or CKY. They're just snowboarders who stopped snowboarding, and like they wouldn't be there had it not been for Tremaine. But Tremaine was the middleman between the money and the crew, and so you have to, dude. Given like the amount of poverty and the amount of money that is non-existent anymore from most of the guys, except for the people like Tremaine, like what's the fucking other cameraman's name that's always barred from the kind of fatter dude? Cossack or something.
Like Rick Cossack. Yeah, Rick Cossack.
Was that his name?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Rick Cossack, yeah.
Him, and then Knoxville. Like a lot of these guys just have no money. Like they're completely fucking broke. Like all the money that was there is gone, and that's irresponsible.
It is, but I mean, a lot of them blew it on.
But that doesn't. But that's
shit.
That's just irresponsible, man. That is bad. Like Tremaine knows because he's older than a lot of these guys. He knows that is irresponsible, oldest, and that's bad. Like you shouldn't be hanging around with people that are younger than you, watching them like piss their lives away, and then laughing while you cash your check and while they buy like drugs and alcohol. That's being a bad human. I think that's what Tremaine is. I think he's a bad dude. He didn't do anything, but I think he's kind of a dick.
I think to an extent he did take advantage of some of these people. I totally agree, because I didn't realize until today or yesterday when I was reading more about like the BAM meltdowns recently that Tremaine is 54 and BAM is 41. Like 13-year age difference. Yeah, that's big. Like think about when he was brought into the Jackass crew in 1999 when Jackass the show started. BAM had to have been 19 years old, and Tremaine was already he was our age essentially, or almost our age.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like us chilling with a 19-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid.
And just think of how dumb we were
wild.
When we were 19. That was even
we were fucking idiots,
and we had no fame whatsoever. Like the CKY crew that had fame, going over to somebody that is already kind of in the business, knows how the business works, has an idea for where he wants his little pet project to go, has goals and like dates that he wants to achieve these goals to. He completely took advantage of everybody. I mean, in his mind, he probably thought, well, everybody's making money, that's good. But like, at what point does making money like supersede just being a good dude? And that's true. That's what really bothers me about Tremaine. And the more I hear everybody talk, and you got to kind of sift through like the bitterness, because BAM, like the whole like restraining order against BAM from Tremaine, like that's on BAM. Like you shouldn't be threatening people's family and shit like that. Yeah. But so you got to kind of sift through like the animosity and the bitterness. But I think at the heart of it, like Tremaine, I mean, he's not required to step up, but like he should have stepped up.
He should, yeah. That's sad. It is. And it's crazy to see like how within the CKY crew who has come out of this like unscathed, or who never had like anything tragic happen to them. So like you have Jess Margera who came out, he was so normal. He was never crazy and wacky like the rest of the guys. Deco came out of it really well. He stepped away at the right time. Even Rake did too. Rake stepped away and just was like, he was there here and there, like on Viva La Bam. He was actually there a lot on Viva La Bam, but he was never like, he never did anything too wild on that or CKY. He was never out of control like Rab and Dunn and Bam were. Like they were just out of their fucking minds, all three of them. And Rab barely made it out. I mean, Dunn obviously didn't, as terrible as that is. He didn't make it out,
No,
and,
you're right.
and Rab barely did too. So, and
Man,
and Bam is on his way out. Like, I mean, if he
I don't know
keeps this
how
shit
Bam
up,
is still alive. Remember, like he was hospitalized for dehydration because he drank like an exorbitant amount of alcohol for like 4 days straight, and he got hospitalized because he drank no water at the time. He almost died. And this was like 2014.
Yeah, this was after Dunn died. Yeah.
And so I dude, I just don't understand how he's even still alive. But then I was reading something else that Rab was giving an interview on, and he was talking about how he had to, at some point he picked up a job as a waiter at some local Pennsylvania restaurant, and some kid was kind of like, "Hey, aren't you like Rab himself?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then they kind of like made a joke like, "Why are you working here? Don't you have like millions of dollars?" And he said, "Well, I did." And like the way he kind of like the way he kind of put it was just like, holy fuck, man. Like, I get it, you're your own man. Like, these are your decisions you're making. But fuck, dude, nobody was there for you. Nobody. Like, that is so sad.
Yeah, very, very sad.
No support from for these kids. What a waste.
No, you're totally right. Totally right. So let's get back to this album.
Yeah,
we got so much about.
We got a killer album for it.
Jackass.
At least. Let's talk about Skeletor Beastman.
Let's do this. What do you got on this one?
Well, I don't even know. Like, where do you start? The video, there's the vocals, the fucking the drums, the band. Like, even Bam does a pretty damn well a job on the keys. Like, it's pretty good.
It's probably like the best thing he's ever done musically. Was on this song.
It's pretty good. Sure.
Yeah, and so I mean, obviously the song is about like Skeletor and Beastman fighting with one another, but it's all Deco doing both voices, and then it just knowing the fact that this is all like done on the spot, and then the music was added after, makes it so much cooler, because it's such a mess of a song, but it I don't know, I can't even explain it. It's just so dumb, but it just the rhyming's really good, the voices are good.
The song is terrible. Like, from an objective standpoint, the song is fucking terrible. The keys and the drums, they don't match most of the time, if ever. Like, one will speed up while the other slows down, and they're like completely off from each other. They don't mesh well. The vocals are so fucking stupid, and you can tell like when he's thinking and when he just throws things out there just to have a cheap rhyme so he can think about his next verse. But like, that's it. Like, that's what makes this better than like any other parody band I've ever heard.
I know.
Is all of those bad things come together to make something actually really fucking good, really unique. And that's what this is really, really unique and really, really good.
And it seems like too that there are so many moments on this record, and especially this song, where Deco is always trying to find like where he can rag on Rake. Like, everything is always just like, how can I get to Rake and how can I make fun of him? And you get like halfway through this song and you get to the lines, hairy indeed, they're hairy as fuck, rake some leaves, whatever you need. And then he goes into like more explicit stuff about Rake. It's just, there's always mentions of him within the songs. And it's so funny. It's so stupid.
It's like, what makes this great too, what makes Deco so great is he doesn't rely on the beat to throw out his rhymes. There are times in here where he's matching the beat perfect, like the two men in bed, his face is getting red, like that part, that is on beat. But everything else generally is just kind of him, like that free flowing stuff, and he's just kind of spitting it out without even worrying about the beat. So he can like dance around everything. He's a true MC. He's really, really good. He is fucking good.
And then the fact that the song starts with a snarl.
A very aggressive snarl.
And it's so startling. Like, what a way to open up the record and a song, really.
And that like that.
Not get out of here.
It's so ugly.
It's really bad. Like, he can't think of anything to say. She's like, you fool, get the fuck out. So just the way he speeds up certain words too. It's so fucking funny. Oh my
So,
god.
like, when we recorded Nittleshins, was that like
Oh,
junior
it's
year or senior year?
I was like junior year.
Because that was inspired by this song. That's why that happened.
Maybe it was senior year. I don't know.
But I feel
I'm
like
not
that.
sure.
No way that was senior year. That had to have been like sophomore year or junior year. But if you're saying you didn't hear this until junior year, then it had to have been junior year.
Yeah, I didn't hear this until I started hanging out with Annie, and that was my junior year.
So Nittleshins was 100% because of this. Like that was like
might have
my
been senior
attempt
year then.
at being like funny, like Deco. That's where the
was so
bitch lyric
terrible.
came in.
A bitch is a bitch is a bitch is a bitch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when you can't
It's
think
very-
of something, you just gotta throw something else out like that. It's so stupid.
And then I don't even. I'm looking through the lyrics again, even though I know all the. I could recite this entire fucking song. The line, "Shake your ass, come on, beast man, shake your furry fur off. I can, it's made of fur. Bitch will then whack me off."
Whack
Like,
me off.
Like,
But you
none of
gotta
that
say
makes
like
any
whack me
sense.
off.
Yeah, whack me off.
Like you're some
Grab
kind
your
of
hairy
king or something.
palms. Yeah. Just some of these lyrics make no fucking sense, but the way he delivers them is just, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
And there are times too when he will like again match like the beat. Like so when he comes in with now Beastman, what do you know? That's the part where Jess kind of like double times on the hi-hats and he comes in real quick. Oh, Beastman, what do you know about taking off your clothes?
Off your clothes.
And like that
Your
part
chest
starts
is-
coming in real quick, and then Bam's getting into it too. And like, dude, that is just bliss. It is so perfect, absolute perfection.
It is really good.
That is all three
And
of
then-
them like meshing together on a level that is unmatched.
And then the I guess for lack of like a better way of describing the song, like the bridge of the song, where it's just like the bass drum, and then Deco is saying, "Furry fool, break dance, take off your furry pants, take off your high heels and put them in your ass. Now somebody is tiptoeing and someone just came in and Beastman's pretty." It's just when like all the music stops and it's just the bass drum and he's saying those lines. It gets me every fucking time.
That's one of my favorite parts. Is that part it specifically says and put them in your ass, because it gets really quiet and goes and put them in your ass. And it's very like staccato, and there's deliveries very kind of like very as matter of fact ish.
Yeah, and then the next line is like, "Now somebody is tiptoeing." So he's like, when he's saying that, it's almost like a tiptoeing kind of like move, you know?
Yeah,
Like
he's
it's
creeping.
very-
He's creeping.
It's so funny, dude. This guy is a fucking genius.
He
is a genius.
He absolutely is. Every bit he was in. Remember in CKY when they're in the CKY one when they're driving in the car, and it was after they did the first fire in the hole. And Deco's driving and he's singing that rap. He's like da da dum, da dum, da dum, da dum. But he's doing the horn thing. Dan 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 dan, da da dum, da da
That
dum.
was so good.
That was all improv too, and like they all like you can see all three of them. There's Bam, Jess, and then I can't remember who else. Probably Dunn or Rab in the back, and they're all looking at him like this is a normal thing that he does, and he just does it like off the cuff, just like no problem whatsoever. Like he is so good at it from day one. He is a born entertainer.
I can't imagine what it must be like to hang out with the guy. He must just be constantly on. Like he can't stop, I'm sure. It has to be exhausting at some point.
Why would you when you're that good? You just go on forever.
That's true. No, that's very true. Oh my god, dude, the guy is so fucking funny. And then the end of the song too, it's just he doesn't even know how to end the song, and he even says that, like, Beastman, do you know how to end the song? And then it's just like grunts and snarls, and that's it.
And like giggles,
And then they're
that's
laughing.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, it's so it's like a perfect improv song, or just on the spot song.
It could be like, I mean, like, Whose Lines Anyways is like the improv show. And there's been a lot of really funny moments, and that's a really great show. But this could be like the best.
But that show hasn't held up, honestly.
I haven't watched it. You're right. I haven't watched it in
That show has
fucking
not
10
held
years.
up
This is not that funny
at
anymore.
all.
No way. No way.
It's not, dude. It's not.
I laughed
watched it
so
a few.
hard in high school. No way.
I know, I did too. But a few years ago, I watched it. Or I watched a few things from it, and it was not funny.
What? Don't say
It was
that.
not funny.
I'm gonna keep
dude.
pretending that it was hilarious. I don't like that.
It was not funny. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
it just was not.
I'm gonna put my head in the sand on this one.
It's one of those few things that just has not aged well. Not content wise, just like that shit is just not funny. It was funny 25 years ago, but yeah, it's just not funny anymore.
I remember for like 6 months to a year, like the entire year in drama class, all I wanted to do was play Whose Lines Anyway to our substitute teacher.
I know.
And she never did. And then the one day she finally relented after months of badgering. I didn't want to play it.
I know, and it ended up being terrible.
Because everyone took the class so fucking serious. Like nobody wanted to have fun.
Oh, it was so stupid.
But this is like Skeletor Beast, man. It could be like the greatest improv thing that's ever been done.
I think you're probably right with that. Should we get into another song, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we could probably get into like Mustard Man. I guess would be the second biggest song.
Yeah, I mean, so do you have any stinkers on this?
No, I don't have any stinkers.
No, I don't either. Do you have? So I assume Skeletor is your biggest banger, right?
Yeah, Skeletor's my biggest banger. That's my 1B.
So then, what's your 2B then?
My 2B is a rap dance party.
Oh my god!
just because it's so fucking gross and offensive, but it's so funny. I can't help it. It's just, it brings back so many memories, and over the years, like just listening to this album over and over, and how like that's the ending to this album, and you kind of like Rock is good. It's good. I wouldn't say it's an okay song. It's a little bit above an okay song.
Okay.
But then you hit A-Rap Dance Party, and like that intro is just like, even as like a kid,
so
it was
bad.
like, wow, I can't believe he went that long for that.
I know it's bad. It's so bad. Even on like the CKY videos, there are moments when he pulls this shit, like in drive-throughs and stuff. I think it was like CKY 3. He goes through a drive-through and he puts on this voice, and I'm like, dude, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ,
Well,
this shit it was bad then. It definitely does not fly now.
There's still humor in it. You know, you can still find humor in people that found this funny at that time, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a part in like CKY 3 or CKY 4 where like actually one of the only times you ever see Deco skating, and he drops into Bam's half pipe and he's wearing that like full on fucking like the stereotypical Arabian. I don't even know.
He's wearing the turban. He's wearing the turban,
everything.
The robes. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
The sandals, everything. Yeah. And he says something, I can't remember what he says, but he says something along the lines of the intro to this song, and then drops in and immediately fucking face plants.
Just eats shit, yeah. It's so bad.
Like, you never see him skate, and the one time you do, he just eats complete shit.
That's right, huh? He never skates. Neither does Rab. Rab and Deco never skate. Even Dunn always rode a bike. He never skated.
You know, like Dunn, whatever, for whatever it's worth. I think Dunn, like if you just looked at him, he rivals Knoxville just in like pure coolness. Dunn looks cool.
He does look cool. Yeah, this style, the way he walks, even the way he
smokes
talks.
his cigarettes. Like, dude, I would smoke if I looked like Dunn. I would. I would. He just
but
looks
honestly,
so
nobody.
fucking cool.
Nobody looks as cool as Johnny Knoxville.
It's hard because Knoxville does look really fucking cool. It's
everything
so
about him is just cool, and he's so funny too. That's the thing that really adds to it.
Everything about
He's
Knoxville
hilarious.
is so iconic. Like his sunken fucking sockets in his eyes, his glasses, his little faux hawk, his skinny but long body, his Converse. It's just like everything is so fucking unique to him. It's crazy.
You know what? I just got to bring this up because it's so stupid, and like I think about this almost every day. Is the opening to every Jackass episode, and at the very end, it's when Johnny Knoxville's at the car wash naked.
Back.
Come wash my back. Come wash my
So
back.
good.
I don't know why it's not even funny, but the way he says it, I can't even explain it.
Oh, he's
but I
like
think about it
butt-ass
almost every
naked.
day.
Like, you know, like at a car wash. Come wash my back.
It's so dumb.
Good times.
Oh, this fucking show. Anyway, should we play Arab Dance Party?
Yeah,
Or no?
you know, that's whatever
we
you
want
want to do,
to?
kid. Whatever you want to do.
No, let's not play it.
This is the point in the pod where we're really considering whether or not we're going to like delve into being like true and playing the music and kind of keeping it like objective and separating the artist from the music type of thing, but then also being responsible podcasters.
Yeah,
right?
this is probably the toughest we've had to be on the pod, morally speaking.
I mean, I'm just saying we recognize what is wrong. We do. We've grown from it.
Yeah.
But most importantly, like Deco has grown from it. Like the person singing the song has grown from it. So
Yeah.
I think you can make past mistakes and grow from it, but still acknowledge those past mistakes and still find good in those past mistakes, because if you never made them, then you would never grow as a human being.
True. That's a very good point. It's a very good point.
But we don't have to play. We can play Mustard Man.
You really want to play Mustard Man?
Mustard Man's so good. Mustard Man's my 3B. I don't even care. Like Mustard Man's my 3B. It is
really your 3B.
It is so fucking funny. Everything about Mustard Man is great because it involves like Rake. And then that scene in I think CKY 2K where Rake is underneath a tree, the first time we see that. And like I don't even know who's playing that vulture, but somebody's playing a vulture in the tree.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan Dunn.
Is it?
Vulture. Yeah, it's done.
And he has his pants down, so only his buttocks is showing. And he squats down like he's gonna poop, but then it cuts to Rake Jan's face, and they grab like the most massive like glob of pudding you could possibly think of. Like imagine like Andre the Giant cupping both hands together and then throwing that like pudding thing on Rake Jan's face, and it lands so perfectly on his face. And he like smears it with his left hand. He like wipes it and he goes, oh! And his teeth are already kind of like fucked up.
It's not even him screaming. It's
No.
Deco screaming because Deco does all the overdubs on it.
Yes, exactly. So it's so fucking stupid because it doesn't even match like what his lips are doing. And like Rake Jan is just, man, he's such a character in himself. Like his look is such a character. I love Rake Jan.
I do too. So we'll get more into Rake and kind of the whole story with the mustard. So, but I'm gonna play Mustard Man first because it's too good. So here it is from Gnarkill.
A story that I'd rather not have told. Of mustard mayhem, I'm fighting and running in my sleep from Mustard Man. He chases me to the last sunrise and fucks me in his mom's minivan. Mustard Man, woo woo, by now I must serve you. I am on the ground, bowing to your mustard shit. Lick your wrist at the end of it. I will march for you, Mustard Man. I'll take you there. Woo woo, when I shit, when I try to run away. Mustard Man with me with his mustard chain and his mustard seeds. Pissed in my face and I bleed. Mustard disease. You think it's hot? Well, try on these jeans made of wicker and they got horse fleas. Mustard in my dreams. Whoa, mustard God, I'm on my knees. Bowing for you, it's hot. I feel pleasure, won't you please serve me twice tonight? I need woo woo. Mustard seeds, like I said, up in my head. Jam them with some sugar cane. Pleasure's so good and I feel the pain. Woo woo, mustard makes me cry. I hate it. Suicide, I'd rather die than eat mustard flies in a bowl of shit stink snot and die. You don't know how it feels to have a girl break my heart and rip it out and tell her mustard she'd rather fuck mustard. Never. Mustard God, don't take away from me.
There it is, Mustard Man from Gnarkill. It's such an ugly like impersonation of Rake because Rake does not sound like that at all.
He's such a dick. They're so fucking mean to him. It's so funny. Love it. Love it.
And then come to find out like Rake is like some crazy chemist and he does like all kinds of weird shit with chemicals. And then that's the reason why he hates mustard so much because he knows he knows what's in it and like how that shit is not good for you. So he's just like he just hates mustard so much. And then there was I don't know if it wasn't CKY, I think it was Viva La Bam maybe. And they end up throwing mustard on Rake, like a bunch of mustard on him, and he just fucking loses it.
Yeah. Was
it Viva La Bam?
Yeah, that was Viva La Bam.
Yeah. That's it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
I mean, mustard is fucking disgusting for one. So
very small amounts, it's okay.
Yo, you're crazy.
Very, very small amounts.
I would throw away a house if I see mustard in it. I will. It'll be gone.
Throw away a house? What?
Yeah, it'll be gone. I hate mustard. Mustard is disgusting. Foul.
But Damn, dude, this song it's so good. It's so funny.
This song is like musically. This song is better than Skeletor. They Bam and Jess mesh well better than they do in Skeletor. Skeletor is very disjointed. This one, like, musically is better, I think.
Well, yeah. I think it's also because Deco is playing one character rather than two. So I feel like that kind of like threw him off in Skeletor because he was essentially battling with himself. Think about that too. It was like a rap battle, but battling with himself.
I never watched He-Man, but Skeletor is like the main bad guy, right?
Yeah, he was.
Who's Beastman?
I don't remember at all. I watched it a little bit growing up, but I don't remember.
It was a little bit before our time, so like it wasn't like that like a prime time Saturday morning cartoon for us.
Yeah, exactly.
But like the song's about like Skeletor and Beastman wanting to have like relationships with each other, but I don't know who Beastman is.
Yeah, Beastman has to be like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
But I think Jess picked up on it and was trying to play to that, but I think Bam was just playing. And that's why it was a little disjointed. Yeah. He's not a musician, so no fault to him. But it's like this was cohesively better. A good song though.
But it was a little bit more annoying because his rake impression on this was really extreme. But it's great. I think it's really funny.
You know the ending to what is the Rammstein song that ends with the boop? Is it Du hast? The boop, the little keyboard. Boop,
yeah, it's Du hast. Yeah,
that's what that reminds me of this song actually.
Yeah, I can hear that a little bit. Definitely a lot more gritty. But I can hear it.
Is Skeletor your 1B?
Yeah, Skeletor is my 1B. Yeah.
What's your 2B?
I Got Erection. The Turbo Negro cover, which I didn't even know was a cover until this week. I had no idea. And this song, it starts off with his Jean-Claude Van Damme impression, and then he goes into that like deep guttural, like I don't even want to. It's not even death metal. It's just like this. It's his own sound. It doesn't sound that good, but it's so funny and mixed with the lyrics, and then the catchy woes. It's such a solid song through and through. It's so funny. And then I listened to the Turbo Negro version this week, and it's nothing compared to this. It's not even funny compared to this. It's just it's unreal.
I don't think it's supposed to be funny.
I don't think so either. But I don't know. Just after hearing, I've heard this song. Can't even tell you how many times I've heard this song. And then hearing Turbo Negro, it was so underwhelming. I mean, I Got Erection is just it's so funny.
It's definitely not supposed to be funny, but it's the Turbo Negro version was cool. I never really got into them too much, but.
Yeah, same here. I never did either. But
fun.
There's some good lines in this one. I mean, ring my ding and suck my dong. It makes me laugh every time. And then when he's saying something, and then people in the background are like, they're agreeing with him, and then it gets to the point where they're just like, oh, okay, I don't know. He says, what does he say? I think of cheese, I think of mud. Yeah, I think of cheese, I think of mud. Erection, and then people are like going like, what? He just says the dumbest fucking shit in this song. I love it, but it's really good. I like this song a lot. So should I play a little bit of it? It's
play a little bit. I was gonna say it's kind of interesting that like Bam's love for like Norwegian or Finland era or geographical bands like started here because Turbo Negro is from Finland or Norway.
Yeah.
So that's because remember like Bam had that obsession with him, and then
it was so weird. I don't get that. They're not a good band.
Well, I remember at the time too, like even after high school, a friend of the pod, Pierce, was a real big fan of him, and
I think it was just because he liked CKY.
I think so too. But at that time, I really tried to like him, and I listened to like a lot of it, and it's not good.
It's not. What was the Wings of a Butterfly? What was that song? What was that? The song was so bad. I did not get the band at all.
Yeah,
was that what it was? Wings of a Butterfly?
Something about a butterfly. Wings of butterfly. Rip off the wings of a butterfly or something. Because you're a cool guy.
Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses.
But Turbo Negro was cool. They had that song, All My Friends Are Dead. Remember we used to play that shit all the time after high school?
Oh, yeah.
At Kevin's party?
Yeah.
All My Friends Dead.
That's a good song. That's a really good song.
Dude, killer song.
It really is.
So yeah, like, I don't know. This was, I guess, like the beginning of, I guess Bam loved, because this had to have been like a Bam thing, because Bam was a long time lover of Norwegian heavier stuff. So that's kind of interesting. Never really thought about that till this week.
They were on Viva La Bam on one episode when Bam was trying to make it so Phil would stop eating food. So then he put up like billboards everywhere and made shirts and made sure nobody would feed Phil. and then they went to a Turbo Negro show and then they made sure nobody fed Phil at the show.
That's right.
It was really stupid.
That was a good episode though. That was funny.
It was good, yeah.
That was funny.
Oh, poor Phil. Poor Phil.
Huh.
Okay, so here's I Got Erection from Gnarkill.
Oh, yeah, hey, you know this is, what, you don't? Yeah, well, it's Van Damme, baby, and I'm damn delicious. So, get ready tonight, take off your pants, baby, and let them go, Every time I walk down the street, erection. Oh, I see a woman I like to beat, erection. I think of cheese, I think of mud, erection. Erection. I think of blood, I think of love, erection. There's no reason to moan or whine. Erection. It's what I'll slip to you in some time. Infection. Promise me you'll love me long. Erection. Ring my ding and suck my dong.
All right, there's a bit of I Got Erection. Dude, every time I hear that line, it just I can't help but laugh. And then another line too, which I still think is so funny, is when he says, "It's erection infection. It's true. I've got a big dick collection."
It's
so
Go
stupid.
Lection. Dick Lection.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Is Jean-Claude Van Damme from Norway or Finland?
No, I think he's Swedish. Well, I mean, it's all in the same area, but I think he's Swedish or Dutch. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Jean-Claude Van Damme. He might be. I think he's Dutch.
Because that would be crazy if it's all like even more intertwined to like the Finland, Norway lore.
Yeah. No, he's from Brussels. Oh, he's the Muscles from Brussels.
Muscle.
Remember?
Oh, that's right. Of course, the Muscles from
That's
Brussels.
Brussels. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good. Okay. That's such
There
an
you go.
awesome nickname.
I know.
That's so cool. Only one person can have it.
That's very, very true.
That's so cool. Good for him. He did good.
Yep. It's from Belgium, baby. Muscles from Brussels.
Okay, I Got Erection. That's okay. All right.
That's a really funny song, and
That's a banger.
just the way he transitions into the guttural sound. It's so funny. I don't know. So what do you got? What else you got?
No, that was it. I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that's all you got?
I mean, there's not much to it. Yeah.
What about Pantyhose Porn Shop?
Grandpa. That was
Someone stole my undies.
that was an early quotable song that we did like early in our career with Gnarkill. Like someone stole my undies. Like do you remember?
So good.
Do you remember us quoting that like long time ago?
I do remember us talking about it, yeah, and
That
doing
was-
that or talking about it.
That was one we constantly did. But that is so fucking funny. It's so stupid. It's just a story essentially. It's not even like anything really more than that. And it's so dumb. Like you can clearly tell like he's trying real hard to just be so annoying. Like the shave off my pubic fucking hair. Watch me fight a grizzly bear. Like that's so dumb. That's so stupid.
And then when he like screams, like when he screams woo and just like yells, it's so loud that it like you could tell like he's blowing out the microphone. It's such a mess of a song, but he doesn't stop in the song. He keeps going line after line. Like at least with the other songs, there's always breaks or there's something where there's some instrumental break or whatever. But this one, he just keeps going and going and going. Oh my God, it's so funny. This one makes me laugh every time I hear it too. It's those first three songs. The first three songs they get me every time.
I think that's what it is. I think Mustard Man, like, I don't really laugh a lot at Mustard Man. I just think it's a really cool song.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like the first three are definitely like, there's no way you can not laugh.
Yeah. And they're also different. They're also different sounding.
Yeah. You go from like a slower, almost like a hip hop type of thing in Skeletor, and then a fast punk song. And then you get to a more storytelling type song
like
here.
Twangy acoustic guitars. And he's singing with like that hillbilly accent. Every accent he has on these three songs, even up through every song. Like, so Pantyhose Porn Shop is like the hillbilly. Mustard Man is Raytheon. Swab the Deck is his pirate. Like the first five songs right there. The first five songs are all just like wildly different accents.
I'll just think about the yar har har part. Swab the
Show
deck.
me what you're
yar
working
har
with.
har. Oh man, that's like that mystical song, like "Shake Your Ass, Shake Your Ass."
Oh yes, but way funnier.
Yar har har.
That song, "Swab the Deck" is probably a play on that mystical song.
Ah, it could be.
It kind of because now that you say that, it kind of does sound similar. I mean, it's probably a play on that song.
They both came out. I mean, I think the mystical song probably came out around the year 2000.
Yeah, so like a few years prior. It has to be.
It's a good song though.
Watch yourself. Yar har. It's the same fucking song.
Oh man, it's so stupid. Now swab my dick.
I'm gonna play a little bit of "Swab the Deck" because it's too good. Here we go.
Yar har har, swab my deck. Yar har har, show me how you're mopping it. Wash your deck, show it good. Wax that ass, my legs of wood. Yar har har, show me how you clean. Show me how you walk the plank, my queen. Yar har har, show me what you're doing. Yar har har, show me how you're doing it. Yar har har, show me how to polish off a wood-made log in your ass in a fire. Yar har har, show me what you're working with. Yar har har, show me how to swab my deck, yah-har. Yah-har-har, swab my deck in my backyard. Yah-har-har, swab my deck. Yah-har-har, show me how you're mopping. Yah-har-har, swab my plank. Yah-har-har, let me spank the shank. Let me spank that sea hank, yeah. Yah-har-har, now swab.
There you go. There's a bit of swab. Swab it. I always forget like how after every line he says "yar har har." After every line, it's so fucking funny.
It's like so demeaning. It's so gross.
It is. It's bad.
Oh my god, I can't help it. Now swab my dick. So fucking stupid. Oh. Show me how to polish off a wood-made log in your ass in a fire. What? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
It's just like a stream of words just so we can say ass and then like wood and log. Man, what a fucking waste, dude. This guy is so fucking talented.
He's so good. He's so good. And I was listening to Rab's podcast, like I was saying. Or no, Rab was on Steve-O's podcast. That's what it was. And they were talking about Deco, and Steve-O was saying like how much he missed him and how they got along so well and they had so much fun together. And so he was asking Rab about it, and Rab's like, yeah, I see him all the time. We're still really good friends. And he said every time he goes over to Deco's house, Deco always says, oh, he's so excited. He's like, oh, come watch these videos I made, or come listen to the stuff I made. And Rab listens to it, and he always tells Deco like, you got to put this out. Like, this is really funny stuff. And Deco's like, nah, I just do it for myself. Nobody needs to see it.
Damn.
Like, according to Rab, he has just this like stockpile of just stuff. videos, audio that is just sitting there for nothing, like just for nobody except for Deco. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. He's continually just making stuff, but never releases it.
Man, I'm so torn. Like on the one hand, I think it's just such a waste of talent, but on the other hand, it's like he does it for himself, and you gotta respect it. And
it's true.
It's like one of the guy's brothers, like one of my neighbors, his brother is like a fantastic drummer, a really good guitarist, plays trombone, plays the violin, can do fucking everything. But then like operates a forklift at barely minimum wage for a living. And it's like he won't get into like studio work and he won't do anything because he just doesn't want to. And he makes a decent amount like operating a forklift. And it's like on the one hand you think like, dude, you have so much talent that's just going to waste. But then on the other hand, it's like it's not your talent, right? It's his talent. Let him do what he wants with it.
True, but it's so shitty seeing things just being wasted, I guess, or it's just our own selfishness because we want to hear.
No, it's
want
true.
to hear it, you know.
No, it's
our
true.
own selfishness.
Is it more like I want to hear more of Deco, or is it like I want to hear more of Deco because I'm tired of hearing all of the other and then list off 45 other bullshit things you constantly hear?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just we want to hear Deco because he is so funny. We all know how funny he is. In spite of all the other bullshit on the shows and everything like that, like Deco was the star. And then even like watching all the CKYs this week, which we both did, you can see the progression throughout them, how Deco kind of drops off as you progress through the four videos. Like the first video, it was all Deco and Bam. Like that was it. Deco, Bam with some other skaters, and that's it. And then CKY 2K came along, and that's when Rab and Ryan Dunn became more of a cast. And then 3 and 4, Deco was like maybe in half of it, and then the rest was like Bam skating, and then Rab, Dunn, and some Rake. But Deco was you could just totally see him being cut out. I don't know if that was intentional or I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's a shame.
It's hard to say like whether or not it was intentional or not, because you probably would like to think that it's intentional, because even CKY4, that they still reused a lot of footage. All of the CKY movies are just reusing footage to all of the footage they think is best. That is going to make them more and more popular. So all the best things that they're putting in there, because CKY4 had footage from CKY 1 and 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. And so you think that if Deco wanted to be there, like he could smoke all of those guys. Like he's funnier than all of them put together. So if he wanted to be there, he would be there. But then I hate to rag on Bam so much, but like you notice the more Bam doesn't wear a shirt, the more douchey he gets. And in CKY 1, he always had a shirt on. CKY 2, it was like a sleeveless tank. CKY 3, shirtless a lot. And then CKY 4, it was like full on that jacket that he wore, that big overcoat.
Oh yeah, the overcoat.
But then with no shirt.
Underneath.
Yeah, and that
like a scarf.
That's ultra douche with a top hat. Like that is just ultra douche. And
his style was the worst.
It was terrible, and he's just like, dude, bad. Everything about Bam was so bad. You're right though, his style was so awful. Like the word biter. Remember we used to call people biters? Like when you copied somebody, you're a biter. You never called somebody a biter?
I don't remember that at all. No.
You never call people biters?
No.
It was like a Mexican
Posers.
thing. No, poser was like you trying to like be somebody else. But biter when like you're like trying to copy somebody else without like actually making it known. Maybe like a Mexican thing. I don't know. Like a lot of people at like Kramer and Real Vista used to call each other biters. Like you're biter, dude. Like
I'd never heard that.
Like a biter is somebody that would like dress one way someday, and the next day he would be dressed as like Bam Margera the next, and then like start acting like Bam Margera. You're like, dude, you're biting fucking Bam. Like that's what you're doing. But that's what Bam was. Bam was like biting everybody like him and that group of people.
True, but then he also, I think it got to the point where his style was his own style. He did take from a lot, but then at some point it was the Bam style.
Just because he popularized it. He didn't start it or anything. He just, I guess, popularized it.
Yeah, true.
But even like the band Him, like I didn't know this until rewatching the CKY4 yesterday. that Jimmy Pop was the one that helped them sign to like a major label out here and get him popularity out here, according to CKY4. I don't know if that's true or not, but
It probably is.
According to CKY4, Jimmy Pop's the reason why him was even an American thought. And so then watching that interaction between Jimmy Pop, Bam, and fucking two other people in the bar, and they're just slapping each other in the middle of the bar, and it's like clearly Bam's like slapping people harder. He's doing it faster. He has to get the last slap. And it's like, dude, he's still doing Bam, still being Bam.
Yeah, it's very.
His name's not
very
even Bam.
true.
His name's fucking Brandon. I ain't calling him Bam. Fucking not his real name. Dumb.
And I don't know. I don't want to talk too bad about Bam, because I mean, without Bam, this shit would not have existed. Honestly,
No.
I mean, he even though he was the least funny of the group, he was the most ambitious of the group, and he knew how to edit video well. And somebody made a good point, which I never really thought about until this week, was that the CKY videos were like the original like Vine and TikTok. Because when you, especially the first CKY, all of the things were 15 seconds and under lengthwise. Like every single thing, most of the skits, every skate part, every prank was 15 seconds or less. Like, so it was very, very flashy. It was very constantly on the move. But then once Jackass hit, the stunts were much longer. The bits were much longer. But CKY was the original version of what modern like social media is. The instant gratification of it all.
The biggest difference between CKY and Jackass, CKY turned into this, but there was no intros. Like, hey, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is the Bull, whatever. I'm Bam Margera, and this is, CKY was just jumped into it. There was no 4-second intro. And when you're talking about like a 10-second clip, that 4 seconds cuts or adds almost like 25 to 50% of the total time.
True,
so
yeah.
CKY 1 was just like wham bam, one after the other. But that's right. That's what they did.
I never thought about that until this week, but that was probably one reason why it was so successful, because there was no downtime. There was no moment for you to just kind of like sit back and relax and like for filler. There was no filler on at least the first CKY, no filler. It was just one thing after that. When it wasn't a prank or a very short skit, it was like skateboarders crashing. So you'd have like one skate, like you'd have Bam like, eating shit like 3 or 4 times, and then you'd have him landing the trick finally. You're like, okay, that's the outcome of like all the fuck ups. And then you'll go to another skater doing the same thing. And it's just, Bam was a genius at the time. Like the way he edited these videos, he was very ahead of his time.
That in it's of itself, like I watched a lot of skate videos in the 90s, and that wasn't the norm. The norm was you would see somebody fall like 10% of the time.
Yeah.
But 90% would be them landing the trick over and over and a little different variations. Whereas in CKY, it would be 90% fails, whereas 10% would be like them landing the trick. But it wouldn't even be like fail, land the trick, and the cut. It would be like fail, land the trick, fail. Fast forward that fail, tenfold, so it's really funny, and then end the cut. And that's nobody did that.
And also what he would do when he edited was like, if it was like a really nasty fall and somebody would make a weird noise, he would replay that short clip of them, that sound like 5 or 6 times, and it was just, it's so simple, but it's so funny.
But that's like nobody was doing that at the time. All of the skate videos, the fucking like literally hundreds of skate videos that I watched, nobody did that. That was not the norm.
Yeah, no, you're
like,
totally right.
Why would you you're trying to get sponsored by Identity, your local Buena Park board shop? Like, why would you submit a video where you just fucking fall a bunch of times?
Yeah, you wouldn't. You would never do that. That's not. You would never be sponsored.
So you're right. Like Bam was definitely the mastermind behind this, and he's kind of like the Jerry Seinfeld of the group. Like watching Dunn and Rab hang out, it'd be kind of weird without Bam there. Watching Deco and like Rab hang out without Bam there would be kind of weird. Like Bam is just he's like the worst member, but also the most important member.
It's a very, very strange dynamic between all of them.
It was like having you and Pat hang out prior to your Sequoia trip.
Our Sequoia trip, yeah.
Like that, like what? Tyler and Pat are going on a trip together? What the fuck? Like that was
Everybody was so surprised.
dude. That shocked our group to its core. Everybody.
Even to this day, you're bringing it up now. This is like over 10 years ago.
Because people still like deep down in their hearts of hearts, they still think it's bizarre that you guys did that. It's weird.
I even think it was too. It was weird, but it was fun. Dude, it was a blast.
But it's just one of those things like that happens a lot, you know. There's that middle ground friend that you sometimes you need there, but Bam,
I
see
totally
Bam
get it.
Bam made sure to never be replaceable, whereas like the middle ground friend, whoever it was for you and Pat, nobody cared to be there. Like people allowed you to do that on your own and encouraged you to do it on your own, whereas Bam would never let Dunn and Deco hang out without Bam. Bam made sure to always put himself there. And
That's
whether
a good point.
whether or not that was like just insecurity or like job security, I don't know. But that's interesting.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. But yeah, Bam is he's there in the background, at least in the background of everybody's thing, you know, no matter what it is. Even if it was like a solo thing, like when Rab was running down the street shitting his pants, you know, it's just, and at the end of that bit, Bam was there. You know, he was the one talking to Rab and saying like, why, like, this is why, like, he was always there talking to somebody or talking to the person who did the bit.
Dude,
he's always a part of everything.
That's crazy.
Totally right.
That's
totally right.
And then like when Deco and Dunn get into it and CKY2K and first of all, it's the first time we've actually seen somebody poop.
Oh, when they're in Iceland.
He's pooping. Oh, he's pooping in a toilet first, and Deco's pooping, and then he gets his poop and he wipes it on Dunn's face when he's sleeping.
Yeah,
he wipes it on his fucking mouth. Tyler, he wipes poop on his mouth, and then he wipes on his ear, and then but like that's between Deco and Dunn. But Bam is the one filming. Bam's the one holding the camera.
Bam is there, yeah.
And then Bam, remember Bam suggests that Dunn wipes jelly on Deco's face. You should get him back by wiping jelly on his face.
Jelly on his face.
And Dunn's like, "What the fuck, jelly?" So then he just pees on Deco's face, like as he's sleeping, like pees in his mouth. Oh my god!
and then even after that, when they're in the car, when Deco's driving the car and Ryan's in the front, and then Bam's in the back filming them, and they're talking about it. They're like, "That's fucked up that you did that," and they're like, "Well, it's fucked up that you did that. That's why I retaliated." Like Bam is just there. Bam is there filming it,
inserting himself everywhere.
Yeah, that's wild. I've never thought about that.
Smart.
So wild.
Or very insecure.
I think it's both. More so insecurity, but
dude, CKY2K is so fucking funny. Remember in the beginning when they're like fucking hitting the football on the oncoming cars, like kicking it?
Oh, dude, it's so
like
dude, that's
punting
some shit.
it. Oh
dude,
my god,
some shit I did as a kid, throwing shit at cars when they're driving by.
I would never, but yeah, I never waited for the outcome. They sat there and wait, like, I'm so sorry.
You're right, yeah.
We used to run in front of
the run.
Yeah, we used to run in the street and throw oranges at the oncoming bus and then take off when the bus stopped.
Yeah, we used to throw grapefruits and shit in the cars.
Never fucking wait around. Oh, and then one guy stops. One guy stops. Oh my god! One guy fucking stops after his car gets hit, and he's like has his polo shirt tucked into his little khaki shorts, and he's like, "Dude, it's a fucking brand new car." And Bam's like, "Bro, it's '96." It's like fucking 16 or 18 years old. He's like, it's a 96. Like, you don't even drive. Oh my god. Good stuff.
Oh my god. Those fucking videos are so good. They're so bad. And then, oh my god, there was one I just had it. I just thinking about it, but now I totally forgot. It's so funny.
CKY2K?
Well, just like the body ones where they would throw like the fake body off the bridge.
Dude, that's so
onto the cars.
bad.
That's fucked. Like we would never. We did a lot of stupid shit growing up, but we would never go that far. Like that's bad. Like we did cardboard kitty. That was probably the closest we got to like throwing the body, the fake body.
Yeah, but that wasn't. Yeah,
cardboard kitty wasn't very good.
Cardboard
kitty was
bad.
That
was a stationary object to oncoming cars. We didn't throw anything at cars.
Yeah, we didn't throw. Yeah, the saran. Well, you never did the saran wrap with us. I don't think, right? Where we would put the saran. We do like a residential street, and then we would wrap saran wrap around a bunch of times around two trees, going across the street. So at night, cars would come up with their headlights, and it would look at first glance, it would seem like a car was coming toward you because the reflection of the headlights.
Perfect.
and then cars would like stop, and then they wouldn't know what to do because they can't go around the saran wrap. So then they would start going slowly into the saran wrap, and it would get really loud, and then it would just, and then they wouldn't know what to do, and then all of a sudden it would just like snap and be super fucking loud, and then the cars would like peel out because they'd be super mad. We used to do that shit, and me and my friend John and a couple other neighborhood kids would do that shit.
Inspired by CKY and Jackass.
Oh yeah, totally. Even though they never did that, but it's just like it was something we thought of, and we're like, oh, this would be funny, in the vein of Jackass.
Dude, that Rab when he run poops, do you remember him saying he ate 18 X-Lax? The box said he should be eating 2. They're like, 18. But and like Bam was like, dude, how many did you eat? He said 18. Like, what are you doing? You're gonna fucking poop your intestines out or something.
Oh my god, so bad, so funny.
That was a good one. CKY 2 and CKY 4 are my faves.
4 I didn't really care for that much because it got too Viva La Bam, and it was just less Tico. But 2 was my favorite. It was definitely my favorite.
Dude, then like when Bam skates on top of the trains, like that's so cool.
Yeah,
and he's like he's like awing over the cars. That's so rad. It's so cool.
I don't remember what CKY it was in, but where Bam he jumps from one truck bed to the other.
That was 4.
Super fast. Was it 4?
Yeah,
that was wild. And even after he does it, you could just see the relief in his face. Like, I can't believe I just did that.
Well, they put a pillow back there too. There's an entire body pillow back there.
That's true. Yeah.
That way he can just like fling his body to ensure that no matter what, he makes that jump because he's dead if he doesn't make that jump.
Oh, he's fucked. Yeah. Oh, and then what was it? I think it might have been 2. Maybe it was CKY 2. I think where they're driving like a pickup truck, and they're driving on like some rural road, and it's like a hill, and then they get all that air. Remember that? That was CKY,
they're in the back of the truck?
No, they're driving the truck, and they're just hauling ass down this road, and there's it's like a downhill, but they get so much, they're going so fast that they get a bunch of air going off of it, and it was like too much for them. You don't remember that?
Is that after that happens, they screech and then like they kind of like stop, they slow roll by the camera and there's like fucking cracking up laughing and they drive away?
I think so. Yeah.
So I think that was CKY.
Was it
4 or 2K? But it was a car. It was like one of those old ass like huge sedans, like the wood paneling ones.
I thought it was a truck.
It was a fucking big car, like one of those old big ass fucking cars from like the 80s.
Wagons?
Yeah. But yeah, that was it's like a front view, right? And they're coming, you can clearly see them get air, and they slam down, the tires screech, and the bumper bottoms out, and like you can see they're kind of scared, but they're laughing so hard.
Oh my god, dude, it's so fucking funny.
Dude, CKY4 is so good. That's okay. First of all, the football kick to Raytheon's face when he's sitting like eating cereal.
He has like the coffee mouth.
Yeah, he kicks the ball and it hits him so hard in the face. Poor guy.
And then Deco is in full football gear too when he kicks it.
Fucking cleats and everything. And that's like when Rab fully goes into the Kiki mode. Like that's full on Kiki. Kiki don't like Times Square. Like the way his lips are like super closed but like elongated horizontally across his cheeks. Oh my god, it's so funny. Kiki don't like Times Square. The way he says square.
Oh my god, these videos are so stupid.
Oh man, dude, Dunn gets fucked up in CKY4 though, because first of all he crashes the car just straight up into the tree. Remember?
Yeah, he does. That's bad. That was a gnarly accident, and it's so sad considering that's how he died.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then they push him off the roof, and then you can hear him like slam into the ground. And he says, "Oh my
All the wind
god!"
get knocked out of him.
He says, "Oh my god, my poor goddamn spine."
And then Bam replays him hitting the ground like over and over and over.
Yeah,
again.
you got to.
Oh, it's so funny.
That's
the scene right before that is when Bam's girlfriend Jen was in the container, and then Deco is doing the pussy thing. Come on. The shit we would fucking do all the time.
Oh, I
growing
love
up.
it. Such a like his presentation of it is just so good. I can't hear you, Puss. Hey! God, he's so fucking funny. Dude, that's the one
He's so
Rab
good.
shits on the window with the people eating inside.
Yeah, that was brutal.
See, there's
Like,
like,
I've-
rewatching some of this stuff. I just like, dude, you're going to jail for that, bro. Like you're going
Yeah.
to jail.
They got so lucky a lot of those times. Oh my god.
Oh, funny. I love him. I love him so much. And then Phil falls into the hole when he mows his lawn. They dig that fucking hole.
Yeah. It takes them like 8 hours to dig the hole, and then they're like questioning, like, is this even worth it?
What a champ, dude. Phil's such a champ.
He really is. Phil, dude, he's so funny. He never really says anything. He never gets mad. He never got mad ever. Like even I think it was CKY3 when it was really fucked up when it was like 2 a.m. and Bam goes into the room and pees on Phil when he's sleeping.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I just, dude, that is so disrespectful.
Well, the
And
whole
Phil doesn't even do anything.
and he constantly hit him and calls him fat and like
Yeah.
it's just like clearly you have a guy here that like has so much love for his kid that he'll let him do like whatever he wants. And Jess never acted like that on camera. I guess never acted like that.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
That's why, like I said, it was so heartbreaking in CKY4 when you see Bam and like Phil wrestling and Bam's just like laughing and it's just like that child innocence and like father and son thing. It's just, it was truly heartbreaking. And seeing where Bam is now and how powerless Phil and April probably feel and probably how like guilty they feel too from all the years that they put up with Bam, hoping that he'd make it big. And then he did make it big, but then they realized that they shouldn't have done it to begin with because it made him a horrible person.
It's really
Woof.
It's really rough.
Yeah,
All right.
CKY videos are good. The Haggard movie's fucking trash, so don't
I didn't
watch
even
it.
bother with it. I didn't bother with that or Ming Hangs.
I didn't buy.
just-
After I spent 10 minutes on Haggard, and after that was over, I was like, I'm not even gonna fuck with that one
Yeah, I don't.
because Haggard was
I
like an
didn't even
actual
try.
attempt at making a movie, and they were all trying to act, and it was fucking terrible.
Yeah, that just sounds terrible. That sounds so bad.
Ugh. Yeah.
All
you know,
right.
all right.
So we got anything else on Gnarkill or anything like that?
Nah, we're good. I mean, like I said, this was going to be a CKY overall arcing storyline rather than just a Gnarkill thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely that too. So
And we did
All
it,
right.
kid.
all right. So let's rate the album. So we have a 3-point rating system where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album but you should give it a shot, and 0 is a trash fire. So what are your final thoughts and what is your rating on this?
My final thoughts are I still really, really enjoy the CKY lore. I enjoyed CKY more than I did Jackass. As much as I love Jackass, I CKY is just what I did first, what I saw first, what inspired me and you know, friends of the pod, Joe and Ronald, to do stupid stunts in the Buena Park area. And it was like CKY. That's what started it all. And Gnarkill was like the first real, besides Alan Sherman, Gnarkill was like the first joke thing I ever heard, and I still thoroughly enjoy it. It's a parody. It's a joke. So like subjectively, I would give it a 3 because there's a lot of nostalgia attached to it. It's great. But if I'm truly being objective on the pod here, then I'd give it a 3 because it's fucking perfect. I don't give a fuck.
You're an idiot.
Perfect.
Oh, you got me on that one. All right, then my final thoughts. I was introduced to CKY because of Jackass, and I mean Jackass started it all for me. And then discovering that they're two wildly different entities, and what went on with CKY, and finding out that Deco was like the true brains behind it all, it just blew my mind. And then becoming friends with Annie, and then her introducing me to Gnarkill, and that was it. It was just, it's so good. I mean, my nostalgia and my just love for CKY and the stupidity of it all, it's unmatched. So it's never got old. I've watched these CKY videos countless times, Jackass countless times. It's never got old for me. And I mean, I'm gonna agree with you. This is perfect. Objectively, subjectively, it's it's unmatched. It is so fucking good and so funny and so of its time. Yeah, it's offensive at points, but most music and most shit we consume media wise, it's all of its time, and a lot of it is racist or whatever. Everything is offensive to somebody, especially if it was made prior to 2010. So
Yeah.
I mean, the way she goes.
It is what it is, right?
No, it's not. It is what it is. It's
Oh.
the way she goes. So, yeah, perfect 3. This is great. Gnarkill is fantastic. So, you got anything else or what?
No, that's it. That's all, kid. That's all I got. We pretty much did it all.
Yeah, we did. So thank you all for listening. Go to Apple Podcasts, wherever you can rate and review the podcast. Go do that. Give us 5 stars because that would mean the most. Go follow us on social media at Asinine Radio. Thank you again for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode because it's probably going to be good. So yeah, go do that, and that's it. That's all. Did everything.
He's pooping. Oh, he's pooping in a toilet first, and Digo's pooping, and then he gets his poop and he wipes it on Dunn's face when he's sleeping.
Yeah,
he wipes it on his fucking mouth. Tyler, he wipes poop on his mouth, and that's like when Rab fully goes into the Kiki mode. Like that's full on Kiki. Kiki don't like Times Square.